Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today, as you can tell, I am in the laboratory again in Southwest Florida. And today's been nuts, and I think the video may be nuts too. I've got a lot of stuff I want to show you. I've made, over the past 2 times that I've been in the laboratory, so late last week and early this week, I've made 6 liters of media, and I used it all up. I just been, replating, plating, deflasking. There's been a lot of stuff going on. And what I just wanted to do was give you just a general update and show you some of the plants in the laboratory, some of the flasked plants in the laboratory, and kind of show you the status and give you a history of at least some of the plants. In here is all seedlings that I've generated. Most of the seedlings have been in flasks, maybe year and a half at the most. So it's been, it's been a while on some of them. I think that's a long time, even though in the orchid world, a year and a half is not very long. So what I want to do is show you some of the, I don't want to show you any of the freshly flasked seeds. Those really don't look like much of anything, just with a naked eye underneath the microscope, sure. And I've been doing a little bit of that. Actually, I just flashed some seeds today from a new cross, but I want to show you some of the seedlings that I've had in flasks for a little while, and show you how they're doing and how they're growing. So the first thing I want to show you. This is one of my hybrids, and this is in a small. Most of my orchids are in these the larger containers. These flasks right here. They're in here, and that's why I used 6 liters of media, is because most of it went into these large flasks. I have some things in in petri dishes like this. These don't take as much media. Other things are in these smaller flasks, these deli containers. But a lot of what I've been doing lately is transferring the seedlings from the petri dishes or the small flasks into these big flasks. And because there's so much media in the big flasks, and the orchids mostly put on longer sustained growth, that's why I've been blowing through the media with these in these larger flasks. Anyway. This is an older flask. This was transferred actually quite a while ago, about 6 months ago. And this is what happens: is in these flasks they can sit for a while and they can grow. And what you can see, hopefully, is a lot of growth and a lot of roots in this flask. So this is one of my Momolani rainbow crosses, and I tend to make a lot of these. But this flask and the seedlings in that flask is doing very well. And this is the same cross. It just happens to be a larger flask, and you can tell what happens in the bigger flasks is the plants grow a lot larger. So that's why I like to move everything into the larger flasks, certainly for the larger plants. So again, let me pull these out. So it's just the same cross in the small flask, and you can see what happens in the small flask. They can't even get as big as these because of the top of the flask. So anyway, this is one of my Momolani rainbow crosses, and it's doing real well. One of the things that I want to show you, that I want to highlight, it's this cross, and this is a fun one for me. First of all, because look at those roots on these things. These are glass flasks. I'm not sure if I have any of these. I don't know. I use a combination of things, but these were done maybe a little bit longer ago, and this is a fun one for me. because this is celebrating its, this to me was a slow grower. So the pollination was made on this 2 years ago, which means that with a Cattleya, there was a 6-month capsule formation until it was harvested, which means these have been in culture for 1.5 years. So these are, to me, it was slow. I mean, and they're doing great. The thing is, the other thing that's fun is from this, and like I said, they're doing well. I named this after my grand dog, Finley. So this is called Finley Funly, and it was just a fun name. I love my grand dog, and named this orchid after her. I featured her in one of my videos that didn't get a lot of views, but it still is. I just have fun in the laboratory. I have fun with my grand dog, who doesn't live in Southwest Florida. But anyway, this is a nice hybrid, and it looks vigorous, but it's been in these containers for a long time. But they're doing the bottom line is they're doing well in these containers, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm also excited about this, and this doesn't look like much. I'm going to compare this to this. So this is Cattleya tampensis, and I've shared these flasks with you before. So this is Cattleya tampensis, native of Florida, grows like crazy. I have a lot of flasks of this. Because it's the Florida native, I replanted out. And this is another Cattleya that a friend sent to me, and this is Cattleya altissima, and this is also doing fairly well. So this has been in this flask. I'm looking here for about, it's been on the replate medium. It's only been in this flask for about a month. So it started out in a dish, transferred to a flask, and it took off. It hasn't quite taken over the flask yet. It's certainly a lot smaller than the tampensis, but it's growing really nice. And the nice thing is, and then I also have Cattleya piriformis. I have another Cattleya that's a little slower growing than the tampensis, but bottom line is that all these guys are doing well in the medium. One of the other things that I wanted to show is a few things I want to show you, because I got a few things going on. This is Pseudopodium punctatum, and I've shared growth of the pseudopodiums with you in the past, and this was placed in here 3 months ago, and you can see, I think, the kind of growth. So these are certainly hitting the top of the container, growing just really nicely. It's ready to be deflasked, and I've got to get these flasks. I have a few of them, to the person that provided the seed to me, so that they can plant these out. So anyway, this is again Pseudopodium punctatum, and I've got a few from different sources, and they all just do the same thing. Just really, they really eat the medium. And speaking of eating the medium, this is something that's new for me, and this is a Phalaenopsis cross that I made, and I haven't really, I don't have that many phals. I do have a few. Most of them aren't very fragrant, so they're not my favorites. Beautiful flowers, nice growth, blooming, a large portion of the year. These guys, I don't think they do as well on my medium as some of the other ones. I developed my media for the cattleyas that I have. And so they're growing. And the thing is that's interesting about these is they tend to really be, I guess the word that I would use is they're thirsty. They really use up the medium. the medium that I developed here, and I'm not sure why. The plants, they need to grow bigger. They're not that big, but the medium is disappearing. So they take up a lot of the medium. The roots are growing that. Maybe I should use like a lot of medium or fewer, maybe put fewer phals in here. I've deflasked some of these, even though they're tiny, I think by Phalaenopsis standards. The plants themselves are pretty small, so I've deflasked them, and when you deflask them, the roots are just really grow well, and they take off. So anyway, so these are some of the phals that I have that I'm excited about. And like I said, I just have stuff, a lot of stuff going on here. But I don't. So all of this, you can't see it, but there's a lot. There's flasks here, and there's a lot of the large flasks here. And these are what's growing in here. These are recent transfers. So what's growing in here is just starting. So the nice thing is, I've done a lot of work, and I guess now I get to rest and see how these things grow over time. The last thing that I want to show you, again, mostly I'm looking around. I don't know. Here. This is Bill's. This is Bill's hybrid right here. I told him, it's funny. I met with Bill. I told him last week that his plants are close to hitting the top of the container, and that was last week. And then, of course, this week this guy right here is hitting the top of the container. So these are growing quickly, and then I transferred a bunch more of his plants into the larger containers. So look at all the room for growth that these guys have. So this is Bill's new hybrid, and he's gonna have lots of plants. He doesn't want this many, so maybe I get to have some of these plants too, or who knows what's going to happen with them. But this is one of my problems, is that when there are lots of seedlings there, in most cases, as you know, you generate just a ton of seedlings, and when there's lots of seedlings, I have a hard time throwing them out. I'm getting better at it, but I got a lot of seedling plates that are just covered, and so that's the next thing after I finish up this video. I've got to transfer. I've got some seedling plates that I haven't transferred any off of yet. So I'm going to go my first pick of these seedlings on some of my seedling plates to transfer. I'm going to take them off the germination medium, which is a little different from the replate medium. So I'm going to transfer the seedlings from the germination medium on the replate medium. But before I do that, again, scattered today, what I want to show you is another one of my new hybrids. It's just going crazy. So these are seedlings, and normally the seedlings don't get this big, and this is this is ready to be acclimated, but look at these. Look at these leaves coming off of these guys. This really is amazing. One of the parents for this cross was Port's Paradise Emerald Isle, which is a really large, nice, fragrant Cattleya. The other parent is not very large, but most of the progeny that I'm getting from this are generating. I mean, these are, for an orchid, the leaves aren't that big, but for a seedling, these leaves are pretty large. All right, so and these leaves that are coming out, again, these were deflasked. I got to look at these were deflasked a couple of months ago and are now being acclimated. And to have these large leaves, these guys are going to go outside probably in a week or two. They need to go out. They're crowding their container. But all of a lot of these guys. Here's another one. They're all like this. They're all just big and vigorous. And I don't know whether that's desirable, but look at it. So the new leaves coming out on all these guys are they're big, and the plants themselves are pretty vigorous, which I'm pretty excited about. Okay, so that's all I have today. I just wanted to show you some of the things that I'm working on, share a little bit of my busy day with you. And you know, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, I'm happy to share that information. You can, you know, just send me something in the comments. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you liked what you see and you want to keep on seeing my videos, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. Okay, this video is my break. It's time for me to get back in the laboratory and start transferring some more seedlings. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.